Today is Star Wars Day. Yes, it is Star Wars Day. So may the 4th be with you. Yes. Another day to be able to geek out about all things Star Wars. Now, don't forget, tomorrow is the Revenge of the 5th. I don't know if that's a special day to celebrate the Empire and the First Order, if you think they've gotten a raw deal in the films. But I am even wearing one of my Star Wars t-shirts today because it is Star Wars Day. But you can put your blasters and lightsabers away because, wait, what? What are you talking about? This isn't a Star Wars t-shirt. Yes, it is. Yes, it's Darth Vader. I'm telling you. Now, what do power generators have to do with anything? Huh? Oh. All right. Never mind. Anyway, the Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, gang. Yes, I am back once again. I'm Jeff McAleer. I'm your host here at The Daily Dope. And I also happen to be the Grand Poobah of the GamingGang.com. So welcome aboard. Yes, may the 4th be with you. And of course, I'm teasing. Obviously, this is a Transformers t-shirt. Anyway, strangely enough, I do not have any Star Wars t-shirts. Got quite a few Marvel comics. I've got some DC comics. I've got some oddball stuff, but I don't think I've got any Star Wars t-shirts. That's kind of strange. Seeing that when I was 9 years old, I got to see Star Wars in the theater when it first arrived on the scene, and no one knew what in the world this movie was going to be. My brother and I had actually convinced our mom to take us to the show because we had actually read the first issue of the Marvel Comics adaptation, which oddly enough really didn't look anything like Star Wars, especially that first issue cover. Oh my gosh, it's like, did you guys see this movie before you started doing a comic? I don't know. Anyway, it is Friday, May 4th, and if you have not joined me before, welcome aboard. Very casual show. This is a live stream, although most folks do tend to watch the rendered video after the stream. But there is chat available. It is available on YouTube. It's not on screen because that way I kind of keep some of the odder folks from making pretty asinine comments. So anyway, just want to let you know that there is chat available. Today, I am going to take a first look at a game coming this July from Greenbrier Games, and it is Barbearian Battlegrounds. So I am going to be taking a peek. It's not in shrink, but I did not cheat. I have not looked in the box. So this is really an unboxing and a first look at Barbearian Battlegrounds. Anyway, I do have some news today, too, and because it is Star Wars Day, I know this news piece actually broke yesterday, but I held on to it because I figured why not talk about it on Star Wars Day, and of course, it's Star Wars related. That's right, because Fantasy Flight Games is planning to release a new second edition of Star Wars X-Wing, and I've got the dope. From the skies of Scarif in Rogue One to the climactic clash above Endor in Return of the Jedi, starfighters have played a pivotal role in almost every defining battle of the Galactic Civil War. During these confrontations, the brave members of the Rebel Alliance face seemingly insurmountable odds, squaring off against the merciless forces of the Galactic Empire in intense ship-to-ship space combat. Since its release, X-Wing Miniatures has invited you to enter the Star Wars galaxy and play out your own battles with some of the series' most iconic starfighters. Leading custom-built squadrons into fast-paced, high-stakes battles, you've flown with the Galactic Empire, the Rebel Alliance, and the scum and villainy of the galaxy in countless battles. You've modified your ships for every scrap of speed, maneuverability, and firepower. Now it's time for a new chapter in your X-Wing journey. Fantasy Flight Games is excited to announce the next evolution of your interstellar dogfights, X-Wing 2nd Edition, a game of daring space combat for 2 players. With 3 fully assembled and beautifully pre-painted ships and all the cards, movement tools, tokens, and dice that you will need to get flying with the 2nd Edition, the X-Wing 2nd Edition. Why are you repeating 2nd Edition so quickly? Core Set is the perfect way to introduce yourself to the new mechanics or experience X-Wing for the first time. While the X-Wing 2nd Edition Core Set provides everything you need to get started with your first space battles in the new edition, it isn't all that will be on offer. You can bring your full collection of first edition ships into the new edition with conversion kits for the Galactic Empire, Rebel Alliance, and Scum and Villainy. What's more, a full hangar bay of expansions will launch alongside the core set, giving you plenty of options for creating your own squadrons and customizing your X-Wing 2nd Edition experience. The all-new edition of Star Wars X-Wing includes 1 X-Wing fighter and 2 TIE fighters, plus all the goodies that you need to play. The game is for 2 or more players, ages 14 and up, and plays in approximately 30 to 45 minutes for a 2-player game. This new edition will carry an MSRP of $39.95. All right, so I have to admit, I guarantee there are people who are going to be a bit upset that there's a new edition of X-Wing. Reason being, if you have all these first edition ships, you've got to buy conversion sets. And the conversion sets are $50. And it's for each side. So, for an example, if you want the Rebel Alliance, okay, the MSRP is $49.95. So the conversion kits or conversion boxes, whatever you want to consider them, are $49.95. So that's for the Galactic Empire, that is for the Rebel Alliance, and that is for Scum and Villainy. So that is 150 bones to port over your first edition to 2nd edition. So, as mentioned, I guarantee there are going to be people who are not happy about this news. Granted, I have never played X-Wing. I really haven't. I don't play a lot of Fantasy Flight game stuff. Simply one reason is because they never, well, I don't want to say never. It's been about 7 years since I had a review copy from Fantasy Flight Games. And usually when I'm at conventions and that, I'm playing stuff from folks from companies and that who actually support the Gaming Gang and the Daily Dope. Now, I have heard it's a lot of fun, but it is pretty damn pricey. Although there are a lot of people who do pick up the different miniatures, not for the game, but because they are really cool pre-painted minis. So, as far as a 2nd edition for people who have not played X-Wing, yeah, that's great, because now they get all new mechanics, all new rules of how to play, and a pretty affordable introduction into X-Wing. For those who have been around with the game system since 2012, but I will point out, for miniatures gamers out there, and I'm sure there are quite a few people who play X-Wing who are not miniatures gamers per se. 6 years for a system's pretty good without having any changes where you had to spend a bunch more money. Just ask anybody who plays Games Workshop stuff. All right, anyway, moving right along. My next piece is for folks out there who may happen to be nature buffs, because you'll want to keep your eyes peeled for Spirits of the Forest, which is coming this July from Passport Games Studios, and I've got a bit of the dope. Once an age, a mythic wind lifts the veil between the spirit world and ours. Whimsical seraphs, drawn to the vigor of an ancient forest, descend upon clouds to once again take up their centennial game. You are one of these seraphs, a being of great power and curiosity. The life of the forest fascinates you, and you eagerly gather plant, animal, and sprite alike. What, they don't like cola drinks? Huh? To add to your mystical menagerie. But beware, for you are not alone. Other beings just like yourself contest to collect the life of the forest as well. In Spirits of the Forest, players represent the 4 elements that nourish the forces of nature. Up to 4 players compete to acquire the most of 9 different spirit symbols, which are bound to a different element of nature. Each turn, a player drafts up to 2 spirit tiles from the forest out of a common pool of 48 spirit tiles, collects favor tokens, and moves, places, or recovers gemstones. Players continue taking turns until all tiles have been collected from the forest. At the end of the game, players score nature points for each spirit, augmented by favor tokens, of which they have a majority. Whoever has the most nature points at the end of the game obviously wins. The game is for 1 to 4 players. Not sure how you would play solo from what I'm reading, but hey, never know. It's also for ages 14 and up. Takes about 20 minutes to play. Spirits of the Forest will carry an MSRP of $19.99 when it hits stores on July 13th. I've not seen a lot about this game. I really dig the artwork on the box cover. Pretty cool. But this could be kind of a fun family sort of game. You never know. All right, how about some RPG news? Because today, Clockwork Publishing and Modiphius Entertainment announced that the newest supplement for Space 1889 is now available in both print and PDF. And players are going to learn much more about the mysterious planet of Mercury. Here's the dope from Modiphius. A fascinating alien world awaits you. Once, no man on Earth thought that life on Mercury was possible, since the planet is locked with one side perpetually facing the sun. Is that true? Is that scientifically true? I don't know. Doesn't it revolve around the sun? I have no idea. But then again, we are talking about 1889, so maybe at that point, scientists thought that Mercury didn't rotate. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I have no clue. Scorching heat on one side and eternal darkness on the other seem to guarantee that Mercury must be uninhabitable. But when the inhabitants of Earth first started to voyage through the ether, some daring explorers also turned towards Mercury and discovered how wrong the previous assumptions about the planet had been. There's a new frontier, because even if the one side of Mercury is dominated by vast hot deserts with lakes filled with molten metals, and the other side is a seemingly lifeless waste with its giant glaciers of ice and ammonia, sounds like Detroit. Ha! Just kidding. There's still a small strip of land between these two extremes that thrives with life. This zone where the cold and hot sides meet, kind of like those old McDonald's, what were they called? They were the hot side hot, cold side cold. The zone where the cold and hot sides meets always stay in the same twilight and at the same temperature. This is the realm of the mighty World River, which spans the whole planet and is a lifeline for the primordial fauna and flora on both river banks. It's a hostile land. While the few human settlements and bases were all established along the World River, the main focus of the great powers and trading companies remains on the hostile areas of Mercury, because that is where the true riches of the innermost planet of the solar system lie. Lakes of molten metal await their exploitation on the hot side, if only there were a way to mine them. Frozen gases on the dark side also promise great profits, despite all risks to life and limb. It's no wonder then that it's not just scientists that come to Mercury, but also salesmen and prospectors, just as some inventors try to construct machines that would function in environments more life-threatening and hostile than anything known on Earth, or probably on Mars. This supplement describes everything you need to know to have thrilling adventures on Mercury. Detailed descriptions of the 3 very different regions, information on inhabitants and visitors of Mercury, interesting locations, or alien, and not always animal, life. This sourcebook offers you a comprehensive survey of the planet. To help you dive into this exciting world more easily, this book also includes an adventure concerning a race along the World River, which lets you and your players explore large parts of Mercury during its course. The 130-page Space 1889 Mercury sourcebook is available in PDF from my friends over at Drive-Thru RPG for $16.99, or you can also order the hardcover from Modiphius for $27.99. I dig Space 1889. I have always dug Space 1889 since the days it came out from Game Design Workshop with Frank Chadwick as a designer. Loved it. Super, super cool. Was it the greatest like mechanics and things like that? No, GDW wasn't necessarily known for putting together really great mechanisms for their role-playing games, but their settings were also always awesome. So, kind of cool that Modiphius and Clockwork Publishing are still carrying on with more supplements for Space 1889. I did review the newest edition that came out, I want to say that's got to be about 2-3 years ago. Really, really dug it. But I have to admit, that was the last item from the series that I got to see to do a review for. So I know there's quite a few supplements that are out there for Space 1889. And like I said, it's a very, very cool kind of steampunkish, colonial, Victorian age, science fiction, kind of weird science, stiff British upper lip sort of role-playing game. All right, anyway, let's move on to my last news piece. And Warlord Games I need a sip. Hold on a second. And I have to point out, both the kitties are down here today. Smokey was kind of playing around my legs, and I thought maybe she would hop up. I think she just went to go take a nap. But Pinky is down here, and Pinky is in seemingly another rare mood where she's complaining, although now she's grabbing something to eat. All right, Pinky, just relax today. You don't have to be caterwauling the whole show. All right, anyway, my last news piece is from Warlord Games, because they've released another wave of miniatures for their World War II aerial combat game, Blood Red Skies. And I've got the dope. Blood Red Skies is a tabletop miniatures game where you take command of a force of iconic World War II fighter aircraft. Spitfires duel with Messerschmitts in fast-paced dogfights using the dynamic advantage system. Opposing pilots can also use card-based traits, doctrines, and skill to make the most of their planes. We have the United States P-51 Mustang. The introduction of the Merlin engine transformed the initially mediocre P-51 Mustang into a world-class fighting machine with the iconic P-51D, all but supplanting other types of fighters used by the United States 8th Air Force in Britain. By May 1945, Mustangs had flown 213,873 sorties and claimed 4,950 enemy aircraft destroyed. Then we've got the Soviet Yak-1. The Yakolev Yak-1 entered service in 1940, a fast and well-armed fighter. With wooden wings and a composite structure, it was a very reliable and easy-to-maintain aircraft. Although its production suffered quality issues due to the Axis invasion, the Yak-1 always remained popular with frontline pilots. And on a side note, If you have any women in your gaming group and you introduce them to Blood Red Skies, they can fly yaks and be historically accurate. Yes, because there were plenty of women in the Soviet Union who took to the cockpits of Soviet fighters. Plus, let's not forget the Mitsubishi A6M0. The Mitsubishi A6M0 was a fast, modern fighter, but had no armor for the pilot. When the Zero was in the hands of aggressive and well-trained pilots, this weakness was rarely apparent. The A6M5 Model Zero featured improved engine, armament, and protection, although the latter remained inadequate compared to other combat aircraft. The starter set for Blood Red Skies does carry an MSRP of $50. That's pretty fair, while the additional 6 plane squadrons that are just arriving do carry MSRPs of $24.95. So very cool. I have heard some good things about Blood Red Skies. I know there are a lot of folks out there who play Wings of Glory. So that's, of course, mainly, well, I think most people play World War I when they're playing Wings of Glory. I don't know how many of them play the World War II edition of it. But yeah, I've heard some good stuff from Warlord Games. And I gotta be honest, with all their miniatures and their miniatures rules and things like that, very fairly priced. Pretty fairly priced in my opinion. All right, so that is it for the news today. I do want to also mention a couple of quick things. I just didn't put together like news slides and stuff for them. Today is the last day to save 30% on a bunch of different card games from my friends over at Victory Point Games. So the sale does run until 11:59 p.m. Pacific time tonight. So be sure to pop on over and save some dough. I'm always trying to save folks money. Also, do not forget, tomorrow is Free Comic Book Day. I'm sure a vast majority of you out there do not need this reminder, but I did want to share the news that yes, tomorrow is Free Comic Book Day. It's that yearly event where comic book stores around the country do have free comics, not only to introduce people to the hobby of reading comics, but to say thanks for all the comic buyers out there. I do mention that it depends on what kind of comic store you go to, because when I lived in Arizona and I'd go for Free Comic Book Day, I'm not naming the store, even though it's out of business. It was a chain of comic shops in the valley. You went in there for Free Comic Day, and it was one comic. And it was whatever they felt like giving you. You didn't even really get a choice. So, but there are other comic stores where it's kind of like, yeah, take your pick, take 3, 4, whatever. If you live in the Chicago area, I certainly recommend you go stop at Graham Cracker's Comics, because there are, I want to say there's 10 locations now. There's one up in Wisconsin. And they're awesome. I'm good friends with a lot of the folks from Graham Crackers, and they usually will give you, a few comics. You can actually, it's worth your while to drive over, is what I can basically tell you. Alrighty, so, it was funny too, because I almost had considered sharing the video that shows off all the free comics this year, because there's a bunch, because they come in different tiers. There's like, I think there's like diamond tier, gold tier, silver. Maybe there's not a diamond. Maybe it's just gold, silver, bronze. Anywho, but the video was about 13 minutes long. And I do know that most people who watch the Daily Dope, I mean, I'm sure plenty of you out there are comic book readers or comic book fans, but you don't come to watch the Daily Dope to get comic book news for the most part. Certainly not 13 minutes of comic book news. Anyway, so before I jump into my first look at Barbarian Battlegrounds, do want to mention there is the mailbag. It is mailbag@thegaminggang.com. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can always feel free to shoot me an email. Of course, you can always comment on the videos as well. I usually respond. But I did get an email. Strangely enough, I didn't get a lot of views on my review for Torg Eternity's core book yesterday. Honestly, I wasn't expecting a ton. But I did get an email asking if I could show off the possibility tokens that I had mentioned during the review, but I forgot to grab them, so I wasn't going to get up in the middle of the review, walk off, come back with the tokens, right? It is a live show, right? So I did want to kind of show off their poker chips. They're basically poker chips. And they've got artwork. So on one side, we've got Torg. And hopefully that's in focus there. And then on the other side, we've got some artwork. And the artwork is different on all of these possibility tokens. So during the review, I had mentioned that you could use anything you really want. You can use pennies or something like that. And because the player characters, the Storm Knights, the heroes of Torg, are able to warp reality, and they use their possibility energy, and that's what these tokens basically represent. They're possibilities. So, all right. So, hey, as I mentioned, if you had question, comments, something like that, feel free, shoot me an email at mailbag@thegaminggang.com. All right, Pinky, relax. Relax. I'm looking right at you. No reason to be running all over. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so today I've got kind of a special treat because I'm going to take a first look at a game that is not in stores. It's not going to be in stores until July. And the fine folks over at Greenbrier Games, my pals at Greenbrier, sent me a copy. It's kind of like an advanced copy of Barbarian Battlegrounds. And it is designed by Walter Barber and Ian Van Nest. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and it plays in about 20 to 30 minutes. As I mentioned, the game is going to be hitting stores in July. Stupid me forgot to ask my friend Julia Hearn from Greenbrier what's the MSRP going to be on it. But taking a look at the box and everything, and kind of knowing how Greenbrier Games kind of, bases their pricing, I'm going to take a wild stab. We're probably looking at like $24.99. It's just a guess, but that's pretty much what I'm going with. So let's swing on over to the other camera here, and let's pop this on down. So one thing I want to point out, if you do watch The Daily Dope quite often, I've kind of changed the settings for the camera here to kind of get a more true rendition of the color. For some strange reason, and of course it's going to make the video look a little bit darker than past videos, but you are seeing a true representation of the colors now. It was just a little too light previously. So it's nothing where it's like, oh, is there something wrong with Jeff's camera? How come this stuff isn't real bright? No, this is actually a true rendition. So let me grab a sip here. So I'll be the first to admit, I know absolutely nothing about this game. Nothing whatsoever. I have to point out that I kind of get a kick out of, I shouldn't say kind of, I do get a kick out of the artwork that's on the cover of this box. And it's all these different various bears and armor and stuff like that. And they got spears. And then there's this little bear down here. It's wearing like a helmet. So like, yeah, okay, how you see it out of that, man? So you don't even see the head, and they've got like a beehive on a spear. So this is supposed to be for ages 8 and up. So I don't know. I kind of have the feeling this is like about bears battling it out. So you know, maybe you could say, oh, well, if they're stuffed animals. I don't know. I have no idea. You know, your kids, your 8-year-olds may be watching The Walking Dead. I don't know. All right, so let's take a peek at the back of the box. So it says, Barbarian Battlegrounds is a simultaneous secret action dice puzzle worker placement game for up to 4 players. That's a mouthful. Become one of 4 clans of adorable bear warriors out to build the best neighborhood in the forest. Don't expect this to be a picnic. Your bears aren't the only ones fishing for glory, so be prepared to ward off attacks from your furry rivals. By gathering resources, pillaging your neighbors' villages, and developing your home turf, the tale of your clan will become legend. Are your bears worthy enough to be every cub's bedtime story for generations to come? It's time to gather your clan, bear down, and hold on to your honey. Oh, yeah. All right, so yeah, it says not a child's toy, ages 8 and up. Isn't an 8-year-old considered a child still? I don't know. I have no idea. All right, let's take a peek. All right, so my understanding is that these may not necessarily be exact finished components. I don't know for sure. But I do understand Walter, one of the designers, was kind enough to put this together for me to make sure that all the components were in this box. So thank you very much, Walter. But like I said, this is not going to be in stores until July. So it's possible that we do have other components involved in the game. All right, so I can tell right away that these are to hide your actions. So these are going to fold. Yep, there we go. Oh, cool. Like mini games where they have a little kind of shield. Might as well fold it. Oh no, he's ruining it. Jeff's ruining the game already. So, as in many games, when you have something that's going to shield your actions or tokens or things like that, many times we've got a breakdown of how to play, and it looks like we've got a breakdown of the different phases. So we've got a plan phase, brawl phase, gather phase, build phase, and then there is a marketplace. Okay, so this is for the Green Clan. So we got the Green Clan there. Hey, there's that little bear with that helmet. This is part of the Green Clan. Is this the White Clan? Because it looks like snow. Looks like they're coming from a snowy neighborhood. No, Blue Clan. No, okay, guessed wrong, Jeff. Nice going. Nice guess, Jeff. Completely wrong. Okay, Red Clan. Yep, there we go. We got the Red Clan. And then Yellow? I guess maybe this is Yellow? Yep, it is Yellow. All right, so 2 of the 3 guesses were okay. All right, so these seem to be kind of like desert nomad types. These look like, I don't know, like the bears from the land of volcanoes. Huh. All right, so we got a deck of cards. We got cards here. We got a bunch of dice. Loads and loads of dice. Gosh, there's got to be, what, 20-some dice in there? Probably. That's what it looks like to me. 25? Yep, 25 dice in different colors. So, taking a guess that each of the players are going to get the corresponding color dice for their clan of bears. It looks like we got some tokens here. So we got that. We'll take a look at those in a sec. Looks like we got some counters, some tiles here. I guess maybe these are different goods. We'll find out. And then we've got, this looks like, these like pillows? It's like, wait, what? Huh? Oops, various different tokens as well here. All right. We got some game boards, it looks like. Yep. Game boards for each of the players. Single-sided. So it looks like you're going to put those square counters in here with the different... Are those weapons, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we've got each of these. So there's 4 of those. Corresponding colors. Oh, and we've got a fold-out of the rules. So looks like pretty easy to play this one. Well, it would have to be. I mean, it is for ages 8 and up. Well, you would think. Let's take a look. So we've got the setup. Aha, so these will go behind your screen like so. Well, you better play at a big enough table. So, because I'll be the first to admit, I am not a cheaty kind of player. But if somebody's supposed to be hiding something and they don't hide it during a game, I'm taking a look. I'm not getting out of my seat and walking around or like craning my neck or something like that to see something. But if somebody's just like, okay, well, guess what? I'm going to take a look. And it's funny because my nephew Cameron is one of these kind of players who's always, like peeking, what's going on? Trying to see your hand, things like that. It's pretty funny. So, but yeah, just like when as like a gambler, if you're playing poker, you're hiding your hand. You're not letting people see your hand. All right, so we've got the setup. So it looks like yeah. So okay, so maybe a little tough to kind of pull in, see that, but it looks like yep, everybody's got their own colored dice. Looks like they each get 3, so there's probably ways for you to gain more dice for your clan. So everybody picks a clan color. Yep, there you go. So you get 3 dice active, and put the other 2 off to the side. Glory tokens. I think these are glory tokens. Let's take a look. Well, okay, so this is the yellow. It's the yellow clan here. Oh, there you go. So we've got locked and unlocked. Okay, so maybe each of the players has their color glory tokens with the lock side up, maybe placed next to their kind of shield or whatever, so you got easy access to it. It's a possibility, but it looks like each of the players will start with 2 glory tokens, and it appears that's basically what you're looking to do in this game, is to acquire glory. Freedom! No, glory, sorry. Yeah, hey, right here, it says your objective. It says if at any point a player reaches 7 glory tokens during the game, they immediately win. All right, so we've got resource tokens, specialist tokens, and upgrade cards. So these are upgrade cards. Okay. Blank. I don't know. Well, I don't know what the blank is supposed to mean. Blank. Blank. Another blank there. Huh. I don't know. That's a little strange. A lot of blank cards. And I can understand that if it didn't have artwork, right? Because once again, this isn't in stores yet, right? This is a special preview copy I'm getting. I also want to point out, this is not coming to Kickstarter. This is not a Kickstarter release. This is going straight to retail. The Second Amendment. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if these are supposed to be for you to create your own, or if it's sort of like, aha, you got nothing. Ha ha. So, but it looks like there's different backings on these too. So let's see. So we got those, we got these. Okay, so these are upgrades. So the ones with this kind of gold border around the back are upgrades. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what these are all the ones that are blank. So I cannot tell you. Okay, so we got upgrades here, and this is what, trials? Oh, okay, so maybe these are, these are probably like little quests almost that you need to complete to get the glory, right? Oh, I get a kick out of this. It's like cave art with the bears. Oh, that is funny. There we go. That's pretty funny. Jeez. All right, cool. Grizzled veterans. Nice. That's kind of funny. So let's see what we've got on these. So these are upgrades. So they're going to upgrade. I guess you're going to put your upgrades probably somewhere around your card. Captain training. I dig this artwork. This artwork's pretty funny. Pillaging. Jeez. I got your pigs. Taking your pigs. Second Amendment. Captain training. Huh. Not a ton of upgrades. And quite a few are identical. So, I don't know. I have no idea how any of these things actually work. But, I'm going to take a guess. These are probably the resource and specialist tokens. So, let's take a look at a few of these. So, I'm going to take a guess. Maybe these tokens that have a multitude of things. Like, this looks like this is rock. It's like, I don't know, flour or something? I have no idea. Or no, is that honey? Maybe those are little honey pots. I'm guessing maybe those are like the resource tokens. And then these tokens that kind of have this sort of design. Maybe these are specialists? I don't know. I do not know. Kind of cool, though. This looks like this might be fun. All right, and then we got these tiles here. Let's see if we can find what these are. Oh, aren't these, maybe these are resources. I don't know. These look like these are kind of like weapons almost, because we've got like a hammer. And then we've got a helmet. Jeez. But it looked like we had like a campfire in here too. I swear I just saw like a campfire token. Yeah, there we go. Here. Yeah, it's like campfire. So the bears discover fire? Is that maybe it? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm probably going to get this out on the table this weekend. So, to check this out. All right, so basically we're seeing here, it says gameplay. So we've got planning. So everybody rolls their dice. Brawl. Because I could have swore, didn't it say that this is a simultaneous game? That everybody's kind of doing their actions all at the same time. So we've got Brawl, we've got Gather, we've got Build. So it looks like you're assigning dice to different things each round. Then we've got a cleanup. Okay, and then it's talking about, okay, so this is the brawl phase. And then we've got, we've got the plan phase to start off with, and then rules go up here. So I guess you're using on your little village board, your little neighborhood. And we got the brawl phase. Check to see whether any players put any dice in their battleground. So it looks like with the brawl phase, you're trying to raid the another player. So there we go, right there, stealing loot. And we got a gather phase. And then we've got a build phase. Cleanup phase, marketplace. Okay, so in the marketplace, there's hire mercenary, change fate, empower, hire a specialist. Yeah, those are specialists, those little tokens we saw. But the ones I thought were a specialist are not actually the specialist. It's the ones that show like this. That is a specialist. It says, reinforcements? Okay. And then grand offering. Oh, so I think you have to spend maybe these. Maybe that's what it's telling you. That if, yeah, okay, so, or, see where it's got like the two, yeah, those almost look like little honey pots or something. So it's showing the two there, and it says hire mercenary. So maybe that's what you get if you trade those things in. Nice. Kind of funny. This artwork's just kind of making me smile. So then it talks about trial cards. Yep, there you go. Trial cards are secret objectives that shape player strategies and offer extra ways of obtaining glory tokens. And it says, okay, so when you win, anybody who reaches 7 glory tokens, regardless of what colors they are, and whether or not they are locked, that player immediately wins the game. All their bears must shamefully retreat to their village's ruins. My gosh, if you lose, it's your village is ruined? Boy, that's gonna bring some tears to the 8-year-old eyes. All right, so we've got the 2 little decks of cards. We've got the resources and specialists. We've got the glory tokens. We've got what appears to be kind of like weapons, or maybe these are like the upgrades. Maybe that's kind of what it is. Got those. We've got the page of rules. We have the 4 village boards. And the 4 screens. And we got a busload of dice. Loads of dice. And that is what we find when we take everything from Barbearian Battlegrounds outside the box. I will have a review of Barbearian Battlegrounds in the very near future. Maybe, I don't think I can get to it next week. I got way too much stuff kind of already lined up. Pinky, relax. I'm almost done, sweetie. She wants to go upstairs the whole thing. She's just not allowed to be upstairs by herself. She's a good kitty, but sometimes doesn't remember that she's only supposed to use a box, right? Right? But you're a good cat. Don't worry, sweetie. Anyway, as I was going to say, I should have a review of it week after next. Or maybe even next Friday. All depends on what I might have in store for us for our Family Fun Fridays. But it's not hitting stores till July. So, and I don't even think there's pre-orders yet available on the Greenbrier website. But once again, as I pointed out before, Barbarian Battlegrounds is for 2 to 4 players. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. and it's for ages 8 and up. Depending on how your 8-year-olds feel about bears beating on each other and stealing from each other. Anywho, but once again, I don't have an MSRP just yet. Like I said, I think we're probably looking about right around $25. So, anywho, I will be back on Monday, and to give you an idea what's cooking next week, before I wrap up the show, on Monday I will be reviewing Reanimator the board game. Yes, finally gonna get this reviewed. I was supposed to get a review on Tuesday, but then there wasn't a show. So, Reanimator the board game is from Dynamite Entertainment and Lynn Vander Studios. Then I'm kind of up in the air a little bit. So I don't have any war games cooking for War Game Wednesday. But you never know what's going to show up around here. So, I mean, I've had an afternoon where suddenly I've got eight new games that are sitting there just arriving. So it's like, But I don't really have any war games set up for War Game Wednesday. So what I might end up doing is on Tuesday, I might actually do a review of Torg Eternity, the Day 1 Adventures, which is from Ulysses North America, part of the big, huge box of cool Ulysses North America stuff that they sent me. So I might do a review of this on Tuesday, and then do an unboxing on Wednesday, because I know I get a lot of war gamers who tune in for Wednesday shows. And Helios Expanse from Greenbrier Games is like a 4X game. So this might kind of fall into that category. So all depends. If suddenly I get something from like GMT or somebody, then I will be unboxing this on Tuesday. Of course, when you tune in on Monday, I'll have a better feel for what's going on. Then I think Thursday for RPG Thursday, I'm going to do a review of the Dark Eye Core book. So kind of a double dip of Ulysses North America next week. All right, so that's it for today's show. As Pinky comes strolling over. Hello, Pinky. Yes, hello. Crazy cat. She wasn't all that keen on me until about 3 months ago. I fed her some chicken, and now she's my best pal in the world. Yeah, I would pick you up so you could say hi, but I know you would not like that, and you would probably fly all over the place and knock my cameras and break them, knock them over. Anywho, so I will be back on Monday. So don't forget, when you're not watching The Daily Dope, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Enjoy your weekend. Have a very fun weekend. It's warming up in a lot of places around the country. Also have a very safe weekend. And I'll be back Monday. So until then, as always, thanks for watching.